For the past few videos, sinasabi ko na one of the best ways and most simplest ways to start investing is to just buy an S&P 500 ETF like VU, tapos just invest and buy every single month. And honestly, I still believe that. Kasi pag binigyan mo yung money mo enough time to compound, by the time you retire, probably meron ka ng 20 to 30 million, depende kung magkano yung ini-invest mo. Pero yun na nga yung problem. What if gusto mo gamitin yung pera mo before you even retire? Nung umabot ng 7 digits yung S&P 500 ETF ko, naisip ko, what if gusto kong mag-enjoy bago ako mag 50 or 60? Okay lang ba na halos lahat ng pera ko nasa ETFs? Or may better way pa ba na i-manage yung pera ko? And depende din naman kasi ang investing sa situation mo. For example, you're around my age, tapos may stable income ka, may emergency fund ka na, tapos wala ka naman takot na mag-crash yung market kasi again, wala ka pang balak mag-retire anytime soon, then I do guess na for example, VU and chill is enough for you. Pero here's the thing, it might be enough for you, pero it doesn't automatically mean na ito yung best way to or where you should put all of your money. Alright, welcome to Whiteboard and we are back, and quick recap ko lang on what a VU is. If matagal ka na dito sa channel na to, most likely alam mo na kung ano yung VU, lagi ko na lang inuulit. Pero VU basically is bibili ka ng stock not of a one random company but a basket full of companies. Ang S&P 500, which you will listen to a lot dito sa video na to, is basically the top 500 large companies in the US na nakalist sa stock market. And basically, kapag bibili ka ng ETF, meaning bibilhin mo yung stock ng lahat ng yon, tapos iba na yung magmamanage for you. So, naka-balance out na lang dyan. So, for example, bibili ka ng VU na ETF. Basically, bibili ka ng Nvidia, bibili ka ng Meta, ng Facebook, bibili ka ng Apple. Imbes na tatry mo pang timingin na gumanda yung chart ng Nvidia, tatry mo pa timingin chart ng Apple, tatry mo pa timingin yung chart ng Meta, isang buong ETF na lang yung bibilhin mo and sila na yung bahala dyan. Now, this is why this strategy is so powerful and I recommend it to every single one of you guys. Kasi hindi mo na kailangan matuto magbasa ng charts, ang kailangan mo lang is discipline and consistency. Now, remember, when it comes to investing, simplicity most likely is better. You just invest and then let time and compound interest do its job. Ang goal naman is not a complicated portfolio. Ang goal is for your money to grow over time. While of course, taking an appropriate amount lang ng risk. Hindi kulang ang S&P 500 pero may iba't ibang timeline kasi ang pera natin. Now, the problem with buying ETFs is hindi siya short-term investment. Bakit? Kasi kung mag-crash yung market, for example, tapos kakailanganin mo ng pera, edi malulugi ka. This is why we recommend ETFs for longer investments, let's say 20 years or 30 years, kasi dun mo mafe-feel na tumataas yung pera mo. So, what does long-term money mean? Meaning for ETFs, which is retirement, wealth building, 10 to 30 years. Kasi most likely, if mag-crash man yung market, let's say 10 or 30 years from now, mas mataas pa din yung value nung crash na yon kaysa sa time na binili mo siya. Now, short-term money naman, this is why we need emergency funds. For example, may mga hospital, wag naman sana. Tuition fee, wedding, home, home, tapos business expenses. Kasi for example, yung business expenses mo, linagay mo sa ETFs, edi wala ka ng pang-stock, wala ka ng pambayad sa employees mo. So, this has to be short-term money. That is why you should only put into ETFs money na hindi mo gagamitin anytime soon. Basically, yung money na pwede mo nang kalimutan. Now, imagine this. Okay, so what if madami kang kailangan na pera na gamitin in the short term? So, anong gagawin mo doon? Wala na lang, di ba? Magkaka-problem tayo doon. That is what you call cash drag. Kasi for example, meron kang 100,000 pesos dito na kailangan mo soon pero hindi din siya naka-invest. So meaning, idle cash siya. Tulog siya, wala siyang ginagawa. Meaning, yung purchasing power niya bumababa because of inflation. So Sam, ano ba talaga ang kailangan kong gawin? I-invest ko ba to or hindi? Ang sagot is, i-invest mo to para wala kang cash drag but at the same time, wag mo siya i-invest sa ETFs. Kasi kailangan mo ng short-term investment at hindi long-term investment. So it won't be about maximizing returns but kung saan bababagay yung financial needs mo. It's all about liquidity or how much money yung pwede mo gamitin ngayon, risk, timeline, and purpose ng money mo. Kasi if you're just gonna focus on maximizing the returns, might as well put it in ETFs or crypto, di ba? Pero at the same time, kailangan mo i-balance yung liquidity, risk, timeline, and purpose ng pera mo. So if not everyone should be investing sa S&P 500, ano pa ba yung ibang mga options na meron tayo? Another option is what you call fixed income investments such as bonds and treasuries. In simple terms, stocks basically mean you own a part of company. Let's say, Apple, yung mga na-mention natin dito kanina, Nvidia, Meta, Apple, Nike, ganon. So potentially higher long-term growth pero more volatility kasi what if biglang sumabog yung AI bubble dyan, edi bagsak yung Nvidia, bagsak yung AMD nyo. Pero ang bonds naman, you lend money, papautangin mo yung government, which means safer yung income mo pero lower volatility, which means most likely mas mababa yung returns. Pero at least, di ba? Safer. A lot of people nga consider bonds na guaranteed returns guaranteed na hindi ka malulugi. Pero of course, may mga odd cases na mawawalan ka ng pera, but at the same time, compared to stocks where it happens almost every day, bonds is a lot safer than that. Now, since familiar na tayo sa bonds, necessary ba siya for every single investor? Not necessarily. Kasi again, if stable naman yung income mo, tapos mahaba pa yung investment time horizon mo, tapos okay lang sa'yo na mag-crash yung market, kasi again, hindi mo naman kailangan yung cash anytime soon, you're okay with a stock-heavy investment portfolio. Now, as your goals change, umiikli yung timeline mo, mas kakailanganin mo na yung pera anytime soon, then maybe pwede mo nang ibahin ng konti yung investment strategy mo. Because having a less volatile asset might eventually be useful for you. Now, it doesn't really come with age. It all depends with your timeline, risk, and financial needs. Kaya I'm so glad FSM Global, a Singapore-based investment platform, contacted me to sponsor this video. Kasi FSM Global allows investors like you and me to manage different parts of our financial setup. Kasama na doon ang idle cash, multiple currencies, bonds, treasuries, and bigger ETFs. Now, it's not really about replacing my S&P 500 strategy. It's about having different options when yung money na meron ako ngayon doesn't belong to the stock market. For example, nagde-decide ka ba kung ano ba dapat yung next mong investan? Now, look at this. Sa FSM Global, pwede ka mag-hold na USD, Euro, SGD, GBP, and other currencies in all one account. So if regular ka na nag-i-invest internationally, this is such a helpful feature. Kasi pwede ka na mag-maintain ng balance mo on different currencies instead of trying to exchange everything back to Philippine peso every time na may transaction ka. Now of course, when you're holding multiple currencies, vulnerable ka sa exchange rate movement, so kailangan mo din talaga isipin kung bakit mo ba hinahawakan yung currency na yun. Now for your uninvested US dollar, meron ding USD auto sweep ang FSM Global. Now if naka-opt-in ka naman sa USD auto sweep, automatic na yung idle USD mo or yung tulog mong pera is mag-i-invest sa mga short-term investments na possible may yield. Now, these are professionally managed portfolios kaya relatively safe siya compared to, let's say, ETFs or stocks. So, this may include yung money market or short-term duration bond funds. Which means readily available yung pera mo kahit naka-invest siya, meaning pwede ka mag-withdraw anytime. Unlike naka-ETF ka tapos nagka-emergency, hindi mo mabenta kasi weekend, kailangan mo pa antayin mag-Monday. Walang inaantay ang emergency. Kung kailangan mo na magbayad sa ospital, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin, wait lang, hindi ko pa mabenta sa stock market yung investments ko. Hindi pwede yun. So for this one, kahit yung tulog mong pera na kailangan mo soon, kumikita pa din siya, it's still working for you. Pero remember na this is not the same as a guaranteed bank deposit. Pwede pa din maging iba yung yield ng investments mo, it just depends on sa performance ng underlying investments. And as with everything, before you use it, make sure na naintindihan mo siya and kung fit ba talaga siya sa situation mo. Tapos kung gusto mo padagdagan ng fixed income investments yung portfolio mo kasama ng mga stocks mo, pwede mo i-check out yung FSM Global's Bond Supermart Live, which provides access to US Treasuries and USD denominated bonds. Now, I think relevant to for people na gusto dagdagan yung investments nila with fixed income style investments. So focus yun mostly with capital preservation, and it has lower volatility like what we said kanina than stocks. Pero of course, may risk pa din ng bonds. For example, interest rate risk, credit and default, liquidity, tsaka inflation. So bonds are not necessarily safer in all situations. Kailangan mo pa din mag-due diligence when it comes to investing. Actually, in all types of investing, kailangan mo pa din mag-research. And one of the big things I love about FSM is yung flat fee niya of $3.8. Which means na let's say mag-invest ka ng 100,000 pesos, imbes na let's say ang deposit mo is 1%, ano ba 1% niyan? Bam! Tanggal agad 1,000 mo. Pero dahil $3.8 fixed rate, kahit 1 million peso man yan na yung 1% mo is 10,000 pesos, $3.8 pa din. So if mas malaki yung balak mong i-invest, this is so good for you dahil fixed siya at 3.8. Pero if small and regular investor ka naman, meron na mga ETF regular savings plan ng FSM Global. Let's say maliit pa lang yung pwede mong invest, it allows investors a minimum of 50 Singapore dollars and 0% processing fees on eligible ETF RSP investments. So is VU and Chill enough? Going back dun sa sinabi ko kanina, if you're a younger investor, probably it is enough. And kahit lumaki naman yung portfolio mo, hindi mo kailangan mag-iba ng strategy just because yumayaman ka na. Just always remember na hindi emergency funds ang investments mo in ETFs. Hindi siya appropriate for short-term saving. So kung may bala ka nang gamitin yung pera mo in let's say 2 years, 3 years, wag mo na ilagay sa ETF. Again, the goal is not to make your portfolio complicated. The goal is to make it proper depending sa situation mo. Kasi 4 years ago when I hit my first million pesos, I thought investing everything in ETFs was the right move to do. And today, genuinely, I think that's still one of the best places to start. And for a lot of you guys out there na nanonood ngayon, it probably is the best strategy for you. Just always remember that every peso should have the right job and the right place. Now, comment down below kung ano bang investment strategy mo, and make sure to check out our How to Invest playlist to learn more about investing. And subscribe para hindi ka mamatay na brokey.